What's up, my brother in YouTube? This is JD, also with the Martial Arts Unlimited Association. I'm here, of course, at my gym, Keishidojo Martial Arts Unleashed, and I had a request for a video on some katana work. So what I thought I would do is kind of give you guys some sword stuff in kind of a different flair, something a little bit more fun, but yet still practical. So I have my my extreme martial arts katana, so it's a little bit lighter, but also still has the cool look. And so if you're standing in your katana stance, we're going to go over a couple quick basics, and then we're going to kind of get into the fun stuff. So I'm standing in my initial stance. If I turn profile, you can see I have one hand close to the suba, or the hand guard, and the other hand is pretty low. And so I'm sitting here just like this. My elbows are close. My instructor always told me, like, think about like wringing out a towel, so my elbows come in close when I'm ready to go. And so here I am. And so my very first move is going to be just a slash. So we always kind of start off with the overhand slash. So instead of doing that today, I want to go through a horizontal slash. And so as I step, I turn. Okay? As you step, you turn that blade and you cut horizontal. Okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Your second technique is going to be the thrust. So you just finish this, and then you thrust. Okay? So the thrust, I turn the blade flat so it falls this, so it sits this way, and basically just think like you're going to push that blade into somebody. Again, if I was profile, it would be like this. I'm not trying to do that. Going this way. Okay? So just like that. All right. So what I have to make this, like I said, a little bit unique is, so I have your 2 basic cuts already. You've got your horizontal and your thrust. Of course, if you've ever played with swords, you know there are several angles to do this on, and you can play with all of them. But what I want to do is defend and counterattack. So here I am, the person's attacking, maybe they're coming down with a straight down strike. So I defend, and there's that cut I was just talking about. Okay? So defend, notice I move myself off the line, and then I cut. So defend, cut. Defend, cut. Defend, cut. All right? So just like that. Adding the thrust. Defend, cut, thrust. Defend, cut, thrust. So I move off the line. Hopefully it goes off. I get my initial cut. And then I get my stab, just in case maybe they had some kind of protection or whatever. Okay, I'll turn a little bit. So defend, cut, thrust. Defend, cut, thrust. I can defend the other direction. I can defend this way, get it cut that direction, and thrust. So I'm here, this time I step off the line, I get my defense, then I turn and I cut that same horizontal kind of type and thrust. Okay? So, defend, cut, thrust. Defend, cut, thrust. Now I have both directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 techniques now, 6 movements. Defend here, defend here. Cut this way, thrust this direction, thrust this direction. All right, let's add one last technique to this. So instead of the strike coming straight down, the strike is now coming off to the side. Something to keep in mind when you're training, especially if you're training with any form of actual metal katana and you're going to hit metal on metal, these edges are not designed to take the hit. So when I am doing this, this is more for show. If I had to do it for real, it would flatten out some. I would get the side of the blade a little bit more involved to not damage the tip. One of my instructors, he did a lot of ninjutsu training, and when I was helping him move, he had a golfer's bag full of katanas. And I was looking at a couple of them when we were helping him move, and he was showing me how chewed up the edges were from the sword training in ninjutsu. He's like, yeah, they just get so chewed up. So one of the things they would do to combat that is they'd flatten their hand out a little bit so it's not hitting edge to edge, but it's hitting more on the side and then skimming off the top. So if I was doing this for real, even though this looks cool and it's how the movies do it, it's going to be slightly flat. So it hits more on the side, and then I turn to protect the edge of my blade a little bit more. Okay? The downside of that is if you have a crummy sword or a weak sword, it could snap your blade. So, something to keep in mind. But, so they're coming at me on like a horizontal cut like what we're doing. So, maybe they're watching the same video and they're like, hey, let's practice this back and forth. So if he horizontal cuts, again, I turn, this looks cool, this is more realistic, okay? But I turn and I cut right back. So you get the deflection or the defense, sorry, and then you cut right back. So he cuts here to here. He cuts here to here. Again, other side, cuts here to there. So I step off the line, so I'm not where I was supposed to be. One side there, maybe a little bump if I needed to, and then I cut back. Okay, defend here, little bump, cut back. And what that does is, if they are cutting at me, it knocks the sword back for a half a second or two, so I can get my cut in before they get their cut in. All right, let's put all of this together. So I defend here, I come in here, I go here. I realize they're going to cut back. I block, and now I cut that way. And you know what? Stab them to finish it. Now I defend other side, come around. I cut here. I go for the stab. Oh no, here. Now I come right back, and I stab to finish it. Awesome. Well, there's a short little video on the katana. I'm going to do a few more of these. I'm going to break them out a little bit more and give you some more techniques. Attack and defend, defend and attack, several attacks. Something as a bonus technique I want to give you guys for the last bit of this video. Let me give you some angles of practice. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4. Thrust to the stomach, thrust to the shoulder, thrust to the opposite shoulder, down on top of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Angles can be anything you want. Could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are Filipino martial art angles, but they work in the katana world. When I did Aikido and we did the sword, they would do straight down. We would do angles here, angle here, angle here, angle here. And then, of course, the thrust. But everybody's trying to do things differently, trying to give you guys some different flair. Because when I practice this, now it's the exact same thing when I go to single stick or I go to stagger or whatever. But then also that leads me to this little world, which is why I did this. So now I can do the fake to the cut. Okay? I can do the fake to the cut. The fake to the cut. The fake to the cut. So you see how that can also play in by training 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Perfect. Well, there's a couple little sword techniques for you guys to play with. Thank you guys for the comments. We are just about to hit 3,000 subscribers, so do me a favor if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. Over 80% of our people that are watching our videos are now subscribers, so you'd be helping us out big time. For all those that have subscribed, cool, thank you so much. The support is greatly appreciated. And then finally, hit that like button if you like the video, and hit that bell icon so you guys know when the next Martial Arts Limited video is coming out. You guys stay safe and keep training.